everybody, and welcome to Pure Finds, the podcast where four awesome guys talk about four awesome albums. Usually. This time we're breaking away from our usual structure, and we're going ahead and just doing a 2 versus 2 on Van Halen. I'm Chris Morrison.
I'm Ian.
I'm Cody.
And Kyle.
Awesome. And we're going to start off with, I think, Cody and Kyle's first. I know. We've been talking about it for like a week, so. Yeah, we can just get right into it.
Right on. Cool.
1978?
1978, February 10th, 1978. It was recorded. The fuck?
Very appropriate.
That was David Lee Roth. We got him stuffed in a sack and other.
Yeah. He got stuck.
All I can think of is the death clock. Was it the clown?
Oh yeah, Dr. Roxanne.
Oh,
yeah. Basically the same person.
Pretty much.
Yeah, this album was recorded between September 30th and about mid-October. It was like 3 weeks they were in the studio. It was wow. It was pretty quick. It was their self-titled debut album, you know, so they were itching to get in there. The producer was Ted Templeman. He worked with people like the Doobie Brothers.
Yeah. Awesome band.
Hell yeah. And they recorded, I think, the same studio as the Doobies, Sunset Sound Recorders, Hollywood. Never heard of that
Recorders.
studio. Yeah.
But
yeah, pretty much they let Ted Templeman take the reins for the album in the recording studio, you know.
Cool.
They didn't really have any control over it, but I mean, it came out great, so
yeah, absolutely.
It obviously worked.
Jeez.
The best Van Halen album ever.
Yeah.
I don't know. Wait till the end of the show.
2's pretty good, huh, Chris?
Yeah, I was gonna say wait till the end of the podcast here. We'll show you.
My lips are sealed right now.
My
That's
lips
a
are
song.
sealed.
Yeah, that's a song. That's a hook right there.
Boom.
Yeah, this is the album that really got them into the mainstream. You know, they changed the face of rock and roll with this album, with their whole sound.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I mean, just Eddie Van Halen alone.
The first song, man.
Yeah, the first song is "Running with the Devil."
Yeah, one of the classics by Van Halen.
Yeah.
Bam,
And then right after that, it goes right into "Eruption." And then "You Really Got Me" follows "Eruption," like you were saying.
Yeah, no, but what were you saying earlier? We were talking about
I couldn't
this on the
remember
ride.
if "Eruption" came in before or after, because the beginning.
It's
and
after.
Yeah,
Yep,
it
it's,
is.
it's like right after.
Yeah, but you would think like that song is so. It's not even a song. It's like it's a guitar masterpiece, and like you know, it's just so awesome. It should be first, right? But
I've never called it a solo.
What do you call it?
It's
called
a
a
cock
piece.
rock anthem.
Yeah,
cock rock anthem.
It's called Erection.
Is that? Hey, wait, time out. Is that song? Is that song? If you call it that, if you will, is it on
Peace.
Guitar Hero?
It is
yeah,
on Van Halen, Guitar Hero.
Yeah, I saw that in the
Van Halen Guitar Hero.
Yep,
No,
there's a version of
okay, so
Guitar Hero.
they dedicated
Strictly
or
Van Halen.
decapitated. No, I'm kidding. They dedicated a whole video
whole
game
game to
to
And 9
wow.
out of, I believe it's 9
Guitar
out of
Hero.
11 songs off this album. Yeah, 9 of the songs off this album were on that Guitar Hero.
Hells yeah.
Yeah.
But
fuck Guitar Hero. I play real
like
guitar.
Running with the Devil. Dude,
Yeah.
you can't run with Van Halen. One.
I don't know. I really loved Guitar Hero when it first came out. It was a lot of fun. But I never played. Yeah, it's like the Van Halen one, and there was another.
Aerosmith.
There was an AC/DC
The
one. I was
Beatles
just like, I was
one,
way out of it by that point. Like the Beatles one, I played on Rock Band. Like that was.
Oh
fucking
yeah, that was
fun.
Rock Band. Yeah.
Because you can just chill with your friends and be like, "Here comes the sun."
Yeah.
Doo-doo-doo.
I think the term
brought
that we were
partying
looking
to
for
another
was
level.
instrumental.
Yeah, there we go.
Instrumental.
Yeah. I just
Thank
called
you,
it.
Ian. Our voice of reason.
I was thinking about it and I couldn't.
Well, with
talk music.
with Eruption, you could just call it the instrumental and make it regular. But you think about how legendary it is. This song will be played
Instrumental.
until the end of time. This instrumental will be played until the end of time.
Instrumental, guitar solo,
No
pick one.
politics here.
Yeah, it's
We're all just a bunch of guys. Yeah.
It's solidified in a place in history, and that's. I think it should just be called a piece at that point, just as Mozart,
Sure.
Handel, anybody.
I agree with that. Actually,
Yeah, it's one of those songs that I mean, the best guitar players listen to and just
Yeah.
cry because they'll never be able to play it.
Either cry or they just learn it and then play it in front of other people. And they're like, hey, you can play Eddie Van Halen's music. You'll never make anything like that, but you can play it at least. But yeah.
Yeah, they had a lot of originals on this album, but
that were badass.
Yeah, it's funny though because the cover song on this album is the one that got them famous.
It really got them famous.
Yeah.
Girl, you really got is that it?
Yeah, the Kinks song, "You Really Got Me."
Oh,
yeah.
badass.
They kind of were pissed off that was the one that got them famous, you know, because they've been making a big name for themselves around L.A., you know, playing in the bars there, the Whiskey A Go Go, which they actually. The album art for this album, it was shot at the Whiskey A Go Go, the back backdrop with the silhouette light. Yeah. And all their videos around that time, the early ones, those were all like wacky recordings of them at the Whiskey because they wanted to show people what their live show was kind of like.
Well, yeah, but back in those days, the live show mattered more than your album sales.
Exactly.
It was entertainment.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah,
people bought your album because they saw how awesome you were and want to relive that. Yep. You know, it was a different time.
Yeah, it's definitely not like that anymore. But there's some cool little trivia facts on this album. One of them is Ice Cream Man. I didn't know this, but David Lee Roth plays the acoustic guitar on that song.
What?
Really?
Shit.
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah,
and
I
it's
didn't
crazy.
know
What?
that.
The guy's got talent?
That's
Wait,
one of my
what?
favorites off the
Yeah.
album. is Ice
No, he
Cream
just
Man.
wore
It's a good
assless
song,
chaps and
yeah.
did the jump splits
like,
and shit.
he
You know?
played the acoustic guitar, but like Eddie Van Halen's on the recording, right?
Well, he's the one when the electric comes in, but all the acoustic guitar on that song is him. This isn't the song Spanish Fly, if that's the one you're thinking of,
No.
which is like
It's not what I'm
the
thinking of.
eruption of acoustic pieces. But yeah, it was David Lee Roth on acoustic. I couldn't believe that, you know.
Yeah,
Me
'cause
He
neither,
pretty
actually,
much sucks.
Yeah, he had enough brain cells.
but the song is good.
Yeah,
Oh,
well,
yeah.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
like
it's
a
a
hidden
great
gem
song.
within the album. A lot of
Yeah.
people don't really know that
I know-
song
Yeah.
when you listen
I'm
to
not,
it.
I'm not even
Yeah.
like a huge Halen listener, but
Neither am I.
yeah, it's like, but that song was brought up to me after years of hearing like, "You really got me now," like all the regular shit. And somebody, I can't remember, it was like I was in high school and they brought up like Ice Cream Man. They were like, "That's David Lee Roth." I was like, "What?" Like, it was such a weird song too.
It's
but
one
it's
of
just
my
like
favorites
push
off that
pops
album,
and stuff.
Ice Cream
No,
Man.
yeah, absolutely. It is a great fucking song. I mean, the only part of that album I don't like is Jamie's crying, I think.
You don't
was
like that song?
I
I love that song, man.
Fuck that
Yeah.
song. And not only that, fuck Van Halen.
Who's for
I think
Jamie's
I said that, no, what I'm saying is like, you know, I grew up in high school not really enjoying 80s. And like, this is, of course, late 70s into 80s. This is some good stuff. Van Halen grew on me personally.
Yeah.
I didn't really warm up to them until, you know, the early K's, if you will, the aughts.
Yeah,
you
the
know,
aughts.
yeah, the late aughts. Like it was like, oh, okay, I like Van Halen. I hated Van Halen with a passion. They were that glam. They reminded me of glam in a way. You know, the way that I looked at them.
But
I mean,
they
they're
are
heavy.
no
they're
Vixen.
no, they are not. But they're awesome, dude.
Well, they were awesome. Now you see them. You know,
yeah. tattoo.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. Eddie's
We
still
need
good.
like the nuclear fallout alarm for that, like tattoo.
Zero to
Juts.
100.
But yeah, some other cool facts about this album. The guitar that's on the front of the album that Van Halen's holding is one of his famous Frankenstrats, which was a $200 piece of crap that he pieced together from a bunch of other pieces of crap.
My source said $130.
Oh, okay.
No, it was just funny because like I was talking to Ian about the Frankenstrat stuff because I just researched it too and stuff because I never knew about it. But I was like, yeah, do you know how much that cost him? And Ian was like, yeah, like $30. I was like, I heard 130. And now,
I think
Cody's
Van
saying
Halen's
200.
just lying about it.
Yeah, he just keeps fucking up the number. Like,
Yeah.
every person who asks, it's different.
17, no, 50.
The price is wrong, bitch.
One cool thing about
Nice.
I didn't know this, but that famous red and black and white Strat or Frankenstrat that I didn't know is the front pickup on that guitar is just for show. He was when he was messing around with the guitar, he fucked it up. He couldn't solder it back in, so he just put it there to so it looked like a normal guitar.
Tricked ya.
Yeah, the bridge pickup is the only pickup that worked on there. And thinking about the crazy sounds he got.
Yeah.
It's an optical illusion, you fuck.
It's crazy.
Isn't Eddie Van Halen from, like, isn't he from Amsterdam? Like, his parents were born in
His
Amsterdam?
parents were,
Maybe.
I think
they were
like,
immigrants.
yeah, but they're
He was
first
born and
gen
raised
American.
here.
Was it? There's Eddie
I
and
think they're
what's
California.
his
And
Alex.
Alex.
Eddie and Alex moved over here when Alex was 12 and Eddie was 10.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah,
So
they
wait,
were
so
from
they
Amsterdam.
are immigrants.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, well, they moved to Cali, yeah?
Yeah, Pasadena.
Yeah.
Try
that's
telling
what I
that
thought.
to a redneck who's like all into 80s metal shit. It's just like, get these immigrants out of here. You can just be like, hey, Van Halen is an immigrant. Like, Eddie.
Wrong immigration, but I hear you.
Both of them. Both Alex and
He's
Eddie.
gonna be like, what? No, it'd be shocking if Ted Nugent was an immigrant. He's like, he's actually from Austria. Uncle Ted's from Austria?
Say Uncle Ted.
Yeah, he's Uncle Ted.
Who's Uncle Tom?
I have an Uncle Tom. He's into photography.
Okay, so aside from
I was like, are we talking about an album still? Like, what's happening?
I don't know where we're going.
So their single off this album that got them big was "You Really Got Me," right? So they pretty much had recorded the album and all that, and they decided this was going to be the single. And Eddie was hanging out with some act that was in the area. You know, one of the bandmates. I think it was like the drummer from some band that never became of really anything. But he showed them their single cut for "You Really Got Me," and the musician liked it so much that he decided to run back to his band, and he was like, "Hey, we're gonna record this and put this out for Van Halen, or before Van Halen." So they ended up pushing. They got Warner Brothers to push their record out faster so they could beat them. You know, before they stole their version of their cover of it.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah,
I thought that was-
that's pretty dope. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's awesome. I love that song, and a lot of people actually, when you think of that song, you think of Van Halen's version first, and then the Kinks second. And I heard the Kinks before I ever heard that song, you know, like by them. So I was like,
Yeah.
but that one's a little bit more at you, you know, in your face.
Yeah,
Here's the
it's
song.
definitely-
It's fucking
And
awesome, dude.
that's why they
I
got
love
so
it.
big off.
Yeah.
I like both versions. I mean, the original, it's one of those ones that it's not going to get me going, but it makes for decent background music.
It's great music.
But when the Van Halen version comes on, it's one of those ones that gets me pumped.
Sure.
You know,
you
just hear
go
that
5 over the speed limit,
Yeah.
maybe 10.
Yeah. It really,
Distortion on
it really
that
gets
bitch.
me.
Yeah.
It really did, and it got me, man. I've driven many a times, intoxicated,
Way too fast to that song.
driving to that song.
What's funny about the video for that song is Eddie Van Halen had this cheap guitar that he was trying to saw it into a star shape, and he ended up fucking up the guitar to where he couldn't play it, like it wouldn't work. But they still used it for the video. So if you go back and watch
Makes
them
sense.
lip sync that video, like that guitar didn't work at all.
Damn.
I mean, he wasn't really playing it in the video, but
Yeah.
He was guitar singing.
yeah.
He was thinking on the guitar.
Uh-huh, yeah. Oh, and that band was called Angel, the band that tried to
Oh,
steal
Angel.
their yeah.
Bunch
Oh,
of
you
fucking
know of 'em?
demons.
Oh yeah, I've had a few of their records.
Oh,
actually.
okay.
They
Yeah,
suck.
they're exactly. Yeah, their drummer Barry Brandt, he was the dude that got the notion to try and steal it from him.
Wow.
But
Yeah.
one cool thing that has to do with vinyl on this album, and
Look
this
where
is
they're at
all
now.
I really have left, is if you ever find a copy of this album that is a red vinyl, it's worth like a shit ton of money because it was
Oh,
cut
yeah.
and shipped only for radio stations and stuff like that. And I think it only had select tracks. It was missing one song off of it. I think it was On Fire, which is like a crazy guitar riff. It's definitely one to learn if you want to learn some chugging. But yeah, if you ever find a red vinyl of the first Van Halen album and it's cheap, buy that shit.
And it's cheap. Buy it.
Buy that shit, no question.
I never had this on vinyl. I never really intended to buy Van Halen, but I did get this tape from a buddy, an old friend of mine, Jesse. with my truck, my red 1998 Ford Ranger.
Who you also got from Jesse.
Which I also got from Jesse, yes. I bought it from him for a whopping $800. But let me tell you, I got that, and I was listening to it front to back, with the exception of Jamie's crying. That's when the radio came on, But I mean, it is really
put
good.
that tape down.
My dad,
like
my brother,
constant.
both big Van Halen guys. A lot of people up in New England, they're huge Van Halen freaks. A lot of the musicians up there, they worship these guys.
Yeah.
Musicians, that is. I mean, even the nitty gritty punk rock, like they still love this stuff. It's like I'm still not a huge fan, but I get it, and I do like it, and I appreciate the early Van Halen. I do not like Van Hagar. That's all I gotta say about that.
Agreed. I think we all hate Van Hagar equally.
I was gonna say one thing too. If you ever
Might be one song that I like of theirs. During that era, that is.
Oh yeah, no, of course, there's always one or two, but
do
I'm
like
just
that
saying,
song.
like,
Higher and higher. Like, that's
No.
inspirational as fuck.
the F-18s.
I think the awkward silence.
The
speaks for
F-18s.
itself.
No, wait a
Moment of
second.
silence.
The F-18s, the Blue Hornets.
Yeah, the Blue Angels.
Yeah, the Blue Angels. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
It was a cool video.
It's a great video. I don't know about the song, but a great video.
I like Why Can't This Be Love?
Tell me why.
yeah, the beginning of that song is pretty legit.
Yeah.
Did I just
Man,
say
I can
that?
make
Yeah.
fun
Been
of
hanging
Van
around the young
Halen all
kids too
day.
much. Let's pass it on to two. Let's see what two's got going, man.
Oh shit! You want to know what two's got?
What's
bro?
two got?
And thank you for listening. You already heard everything.
You know what it's got? Fucking, I'm going to sleep.
Nah, we can fill in some stuff.
Is it cool if I play a quick, tiny track from the album?
Do you want me to
what
put
album?
It,
What,
do
the
you want
only
me to-
good song?
The
Do you want me to
second
put it
album, you
in?
mean?
Yeah, if that's okay.
Okay, so right
Not
here.
the first. The second.
Okay.
I want to
Okay.
hear. I want to hear both. I want to hear all songs.
All right, so Chris, you want to open us up?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Or am I
so,
talking?
1979, directly after they got off a tour from their first album, it was just literally months. I think, what was it? February did it release? That's when the
February
first
10th.
one released?
Yep.
So, which month? I think it was March.
Yeah, after the first one was released in February, they started recording in December of '78.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and they finished it up in January. And once again, I thought it was kind of funny that you said that the recording only took about 3 weeks. Same with this one.
Yeah, very, very quick.
The cool thing about this is that, or I guess a fun fact about it is that most of the songs on the album had already been pre-recorded in demos and stuff like that. I
And
think
their
they-
original set list while they were still playing clubs and shit.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like most of them had been pre-recorded for demos. I think one they said with Gene Simmons, and then the other one was with what's his name, Ted
Ted
Templeman.
Templeman. Yeah.
Yeah, and what was it, one of the things that I found is one of the singles, "Dance the Night Away."
Great song.
Yeah, it is a fantastic song.
Good guitar.
Was that on the first side?
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah, I think that was on the first side.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was an early. Yeah, that
Yeah.
was like the second song. On
The second B side had a badass ending. Anyways, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, what I had found out was that it's possibly the only song that was actually recorded during the recording process, or written, I should say, written during the recording process.
Okay.
So out of the 10 or 11 songs, one song was actually written during it. And how they came up with it was they were all standing in a circle humming. And I guess from there got the inspiration to write that fantastic song. And
That's inspiration in a awesome little box.
Yeah.
That's great.
And it said that they were inspired by Fleetwood Mac's "Go Your Own Way." So that song was inspired by Fleetwood Mac's "Go Your Own Way."
Wow, man,
Yeah.
that's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. And another cool fun fact about this album, "You're No Good," the first song on the damn track, that's a Linda Ronstadt cover. It didn't even hit me until they hit the chorus. I was like, wait a minute. I was like, I know this
Yeah.
damn song.
It makes me wonder if Ted Templeman had a lot to do with that because he had recorded her as well.
Ooh.
Makes sense though. And I mean, if you listen to a lot of Van Halen, you'll notice that they do a lot of classic
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
stuff before their time, but like classy stuff. You know
Dancing
what I
on
mean?
the streets.
Yeah, for one, or
horrible
even you even hear David Lee Roth do California Girls and like
Yeah.
and what's
right,
what's
yeah.
the one about what's the one about I forgot it's the one about the guy that man, I can't even remember. Never mind. Go ahead.
All right. The guy. I was just like, which one now? I'm just wondering.
Yeah, it's bothering me.
Yeah. Well, if we can remember it, lean the seat back. Like that one.
That's not true.
No.
Painful.
Somebody get me a doctor. And I know that Dead or Alive or DOA, those songs were some originals from back before even the first album, because it was in such, they were just got off a tour, and Warner Brothers said, like, they literally walked up to him and said, "Hey guys, you owe us $2 million. So do you want to record?" So they were like, yeah, I guess we should. And that's when they ran in. And a couple of tracks off of here, like I was saying, or we were saying, because we're a team right this second. You're No Good, Dance the Night Away, Somebody Get Me a Doctor, Light Up the Sky, which I hadn't heard much of before. That song is fucking epic. The guitar work in it's really amazing. And of course, Spanish Fly that you mentioned, that is the acoustic eruption.
Yeah.
And that's the one we heard when I was like, "Oh, you want to hear something?" It's like, we're going to have that. And it's just really impressive, and especially if you're a musician and you don't have an affinity for an acoustic guitar, and you hear that, it's just like, holy fuck.
Yeah.
Like,
I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah, I was like, I didn't know you could do that on acoustic. And it really goes to show, you were saying with the first album, that's another thing we were interested in, is seeing how these albums will coincide, like how much information will be exchanged here.
Right.
Eddie Van Halen built his guitar for around, we'll say, $200 to $0. He built his own damn guitar, and all he built it with were secondhand Stratocaster parts and secondhand Gibson parts. And you can just listen to these albums, and you will know like what a true guitarist like really is at the seat of it all, because it's not about the equipment, at that point. You can hear all these amazing songs and all the guitar work put into all of these songs, and it's all super great, and it didn't cost him more than $1,000. That's very impressive, I think. What's all that then? Got anything to add, Ian?
Oh, I've got plenty to add. I was just letting you do your thing. I was going to fill in some stuff like, was it what Cody was saying? It was produced by Ted Templeman. You said that he did Doobie Brothers and whatnot. He did Van Morrison. He did a lot of their solo stuff too. The Van Halen crew, Linda Ronstadt, that kind of thing. The album was also recorded at the Sunset Sound Recorders, which it was a complex created by Walt Disney's director of recording. And I mean, this was back in like the 50s. Where it's an actual, where we think of a recording studio, we think of possibly like one building, or if you think of Abbey Road that has, one solid building but several studios in it.
Yeah.
This started out as a like a car garage kind of thing, like a mechanic's place.
Oh wow, almost like Apple.
Yeah, that they eventually built up into this massive complex.
Wow.
Yeah, the other thing that I thought was cool is of all of the different albums that were recorded there. What I read? I read that it has over 200 gold certified albums have been recorded there, and some of our should know these. Purple Rain was recorded there.
Hey,
Exile on Main Street was recorded there.
hey, Rolling Stones.
Pet Sounds was recorded there,
Hey, Beach Boys.
and the Doors' first two albums
Right,
were recorded
yeah.
there. What is it? The Doors and Strange Days. Is that the first two?
I think so.
Yeah.
Self-titled and then Strange
I
Days.
think so. I don't know, but yeah, a lot of fantastic albums were recorded there. But other than that, there's not a whole lot else. I mean, we got some fun facts here. If Chris wants to talk about the guitar on the back cover.
Oh yeah, that's some That's some ridiculousness. We also were discussing how it's extremely hard to find information on these albums. So I had to go into a bit of deep research, and I was able to find little snippets of bullshit. And what we discovered was, okay, the regular old Wikipedia page will tell you that the Bumblebee guitar from the back of this album, on the back side, there's a black and yellow Frankenstrat. Black and yellow. Black and yellow Frankenstrat. Eddie Van Halen heard in an interview that Dimebag Darrell Abbott loved that guitar, so he actually put it in the casket when Dimebag Darrell was buried.
I saw that story.
Yeah, in 2004. But that guitar was pictured on the back of the album, but that guitar wasn't used for the album. It was done just in time for the photos. So he didn't actually play it on the album, and when I tried to search, like, which guitar did he play on the album, that's all I wanted to know. It's a simple damn question. I ended up going to the Eddie Van Halen history of all the guitars he's made, and I was like, okay, so I'm just, like, dumbing it down from, like, one to the next. I'm just like, okay, so it was around this time, but it was, like, during the album, but not before it ended, you know? So it was kind of hard to say. I think it was his first Frankenstrat that he played.
The red and black one.
It wouldn't be red and black. At that point, it was white and black.
White and black.
Yeah, he added the red later because everybody was copying him, and it was starting to piss him off.
Yeah, it was the tour after their first album is when he painted it red. And he
Yeah.
added, like, reflectors to it.
On the back, yeah. Yeah, so that's the one I believe it is. I've just looked at all the dates, and there was a couple of different models even that don't even look anything like the Frankenstrat. There's the Charvel Star, and
Charvel,
yeah, Charvel Star model, and then there was one, I think it was called a Shark model. But anyway, I think it's his first Frankenstrat that he used on this album because it does sound a lot like the first, just the tone and everything. Even playing style is very close to the first. So I believe I believe he used the same guitar for both albums. And that's all I got to say about that.
Fine, I'll pick it up again.
I'm sweating, Ian.
I got this. I got you. On the inside, there of the liner notes, there's a picture with David Lee Roth, and he's got a cast on.
Yeah.
And the reason is, on the back of the cover, how we were just talking about the black and yellow, Frankenstrat that was
Bumblebee
made ready for the photos. David Lee Roth's photo, he's doing one of his signature jumping splits and whatever, and it's allegedly he broke his heel doing that for that photo. So it's like the back photo, he's castless, he's doing his splits in the air. That I don't know if any man should be able to do that. And then in the liner notes,
not a man.
He's David Lee
He's
Roth.
something more.
He's his own gender.
Diamond Dave. Ow.
and then in the liner notes, he does have the cast on, which I thought was pretty funny.
Yeah, that's funny shit.
Yeah. The other cool thing that I wanted to add was that the singles that were released, I started looking more into the singles and started to realize that most of the songs get released on these singles. They were released on the 7-inch little
45s?
I want to say it was a
smaller?
45.
Yeah, that's
okay.
Yeah, I want to say it was a 45, but it's an A and a B side to them.
Sure.
So most of the songs on the album were released on the singles as well.
That's what I noticed when I was doing research for our album too. It's like pretty much
Yeah.
all of them were singles.
It was one of those like, why are all the songs released as singles? So I mean, like you have "Dance the Night Away" was paired with "Out of Love Again," which that would be a fantastic single to have.
Oh yeah.
What about "Beautiful Girls"? That was their I think that was the last track, and that
Was that
song.
on that album?
Yeah, it was. It was the
Oh,
last
okay.
track, and that song is fucking awesome.
Oh, yeah.
I think
It's a great song.
one
Yeah,
of their best
"Beautiful
songs.
Girls" is absolutely great. I mean,
Yeah.
out of all of them, I mean, the ones that everybody has heard, "Dance the Night Away," "Beautiful Girls" is fantastic, "Spanish Fly" and all that
Yeah.
stuff. I really like "Out of Love Again." I really like it a lot. If I could get my hands on that single, that'd be absolutely awesome. But I mean, yeah, was it "The Dance the Night Away" was paired with "Out of Love Again"? "Somebody Get Me a Doctor" was paired with "Women in Love," and then "Beautiful Girls" was
Women in Love is such a great song, man.
yeah.
I love that song.
"Beautiful Girls" was paired with DOA, And
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's badass. I want that.
Beautiful Girls was originally named, what was it, Bring On the Girls?
Yeah.
But they ended up having to change it because they had originally, when they were trying to get signed by Warner Brothers, they did it was like a 25-song demo.
Yeah, I was researching that.
Yeah, and they had to change the title and some of the lyrics, and it ended up being Beautiful Girls by the end of it.
Oh,
Yeah.
beautiful. I wonder how different it was.
That'd be something
Bring
to hear.
on the girls.
I'm happy that it ended up that way. That song's awesome. And if you listen to it, it's not like, oh, beautiful girls. Like, listen to the fucking lyrics. You know what I mean?
Keep
like,
her pappy happy.
yeah. Those lyrics are awesome, and the lyrics they tend to dwindle with that band.
Yeah.
And then once Roth leaves, and then you got. Dickhead comes in and fucks it all up, and then Roth comes back, and it's all fucked anyways. It's just, I don't know. It's like they had those two albums, and in my opinion, those were the two that were they really reach out to me and to anyone who likes rock and roll. They ended up going commercial after that.
That's funny that you say that, because I read that Dance the Night Away, the first single on the second album, they didn't play that during the Hagar years. Like they didn't play that. They didn't play it at all on
they
tour.
didn't touch it.
Huh. Yeah, and then once David Lee Roth came back for like what was it, like the 1998? It was like Van Halen 3 tour, I think it was, in '98. That's when they started,
it was '98. Yeah, when Van Halen 3 came out.
That's when they started playing that song again, which I thought was pretty interesting. That's a major gap right there.
Right.
Yeah,
that's a big
huge gap. I mean, between 2 and 3. Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably sounded like shit when they played it live, going that long without playing.
Oh, I'm sure. I don't know. But
Yeah,
finishing it out. I mean, it hit 2 times platinum in Canada, gold in France, and 5-time platinum in the States.
Damn.
Peaked at
Yeah,
number 5.
I didn't really
USA,
look at the
USA.
charts for Van Halen 1. I mean, it obviously got them everywhere because they were playing under Black Sabbath and shit, and they would open for Black Sabbath and just blow them out of the water. Like people would be bored watching Black Sabbath after watching Van Halen.
Because
it's
when you see Van Halen,
course.
it's like if you listen to or you see like a live performance on YouTube or maybe in person even, who knows?
Yeah.
But when you do see it, you slowly realize over time it's like this is just entertainment.
Yeah,
music.
man.
Like this is just have a good
My
fucking time.
parents saw him back for the 1984 tour, and they said it was insane. Like David Lee Roth and Eddie was like on those the wires, just
on drugs, flying around.
Yeah.
Well, they weren't shooting fiery arrows into the crowd, but I mean that's badass though. Yeah.
When they saw him too, they
WWF
said
shit.
they came out and played Panama, and that was before it had ever even been recorded or released.
I bet that was awesome.
Yeah, they said it blew their minds.
My dad saw them like a number of times.
That would have been great to see them in their heyday, man.
Oh
Fuck
yeah.
yeah, dude.
That would be a band to see.
Heyday being the key word.
Yep.
Really, yeah.
1984.
No later than that.
Yeah, 1984 after that.
I want to eat Yankee Rose bullshit.
Yankee Rose. Everybody check
Vice
out.
City.
Yeah, we're still laughing about it. Oh my god.
That's it.
That's it.
2
That's it.
albums.
That's all we got.
That's
We hit it.
Van Halen 1 and 2.
I think 2-1.
Shit.
1 and 2.
Hey, folks at home, which one do you think was best? Van Halen or Van Halen 2?
I mean,
My money's on Van Halen 2.
I'm not trying to be a turncoat here. I'm saying as much content is on Van Halen 1.
I think they're all just consecutive.
I
but-
mean,
Yeah, you can kind of group them together.
Yeah,
huh?
but
Yeah,
at the end of the
close they
day,
were.
yeah, you guys, I'm gonna just call it here. You guys definitely had a lot more prepared.
their first album just should have been a double album.
It really should have.
Yeah, I mean they did
Yeah.
it so quickly.
Yeah,
They
I
should have
mean,
just done
obviously.
everything. That 25-song demo, that should have been their first fucking album.
but you know, record company is,
Yep. They want to
Jesus.
milk it for all it's
Digging.
worth.
And
They're just
some,
like the
and some
movie.
sleazy
Yeah.
fucking snakes in the grass, fucking trying to take fucking shit away from.
Oh, yeah.
You know, Van
Snakes.
Halen 1. Yeah. Snakes, yeah. Well, at the end of the day, I'm
You said snake.
the Angel, the
Angel,
band. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just.
I was going to say,
thinking.
Snake is the band that they got Michael Anthony from. Yep.
Really?
Michael Anthony was in a band
bass
called...
player, yeah,
Yeah, he was playing bass in a band called Snake, and Eddie just walked up one night just checking out the band, and he was like, "Hey, dude, does that bassist play guitar?" And they were like, "No." He was like, "What does he do?" Like, "Hey, he just plays bass.
I like his harmonies.
Just loves bass."
Yeah.
So,
His harmonies add depth, definitely.
his voice is so high pitched.
Mhm.
It's like he is. I don't know. I think he kind of creates the sound. Him and Alex both. Drum and the bass work together so well, and then Eddie and David Lee Roth just shine together. The band shines.
Yeah.
It's a
that's
good
for
rhythm
sure.
section.
Yeah,
exactly.
absolutely.
Fantastic
Yeah,
rhythm section.
I
Everybody
agree.
shines, and that's what makes a great band great. Is when it's like you can see everybody doing their part. Like
Right.
that is awesome to see.
Can't help the brains though.
You can't help
You
with that.
can't help their
you know?
brains. Their brains are fucked.
Yeah.
And with that,
I was gonna go in depth and like sit there and like while listening to both of the albums, I was gonna like write off each David Lee Roth scream. I was gonna be like, there are particular like or approximately
would
this
have
many
a
David Lee
list a
Roth
mile
screams.
he was listed like a year or two ago as one of the greatest vocalists of all time because he can go from one key to and I'm talking about like a vocal range. He can vocally range from like a low point to a high point. And he beat, this is crazy, he beat Freddie Mercury. And I was like, how the fuck does that work? Like, I was pissed. I was driving, I was riding down, I was about to hit Mine Road, and we were about to turn onto the on the railroad tracks onto Mine Road, me and my brother, and we heard the news, and I was like, this is fucking bullshit. You know,
Like,
it's
well, we're not
laughable.
listening to this station anymore.
Yeah, well, yeah, no shit, right? But you know, it's
No,
what's
I
available,
understand
so.
what you're saying. Like, I mean, I'm not a big Guns N' Roses fan, but I mean, Axl Rose has a vocal
Yeah.
range better than Mariah Carey.
Yeah, it's
Like,
awesome.
legitimately, scientifically proven.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
really?
Yeah.
Oh,
but
yes.
you look at him now, and he can't
Oh,
fucking
no.
produce it, obviously. But like, yeah, he
Well, I
at
mean,
one time
back in
did.
his
Yeah,
heyday,
yeah, absolutely. Fucking yeah.
That's insane.
Late '80s, dude.
That's great to know. Well, that's Van Halen for you. Zenyatta Madonna, everybody. Zenyatta Madonna. This has been Pure Finds. Again, I'm Chris.
I'm Ian.
Cody.
I'm Kyle.
All right, we're closed. Have a great day and listen to this awesome outro music.